when he and his family were forcefully evicted from their estate by heavily armed Zimbabwean riot police. The white commercial farmer.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. Once again, welcome to South Africa Lately, a channel that discusses South African trending news. We do, however, grab here and there from international news when it is trending enough to be brought here. Please do understand that I am not a politician. I do not have deep knowledge in politics. However, I am a South African citizen who's also a voter, and I do believe that my views count when it comes to political affairs of our beautiful country, and in this case, the political affairs of our neighbors. And this creates a question in my head. Is it a SADC problem only, or maybe is it a South Africa-Zimbabwe problem? I don't know what is happening in other neighbors, but I'm looking at South Africa and Zimbabwe now. Why is it that black people themselves don't trust black people in producing food? Do you understand my question? Please, I'm not trying to racially divide the community, but I'm just stating facts here. It's like we totally fail. See, here is a government of Zimbabwe that violently removed the farmers from their farms, and now they suffered. They couldn't produce the food that they were supposed to produce. And now they are bringing back the farmers that they chased away, and now they have to compensate them because they can't do it. Please, you are allowed to share your views in the comment section. Also, what is happening in South Africa? With the farmers threatening to leave and go to the US, the concern with many South Africans, where are we going to get the food? Because now the farmers are leaving. And we're talking about that make a very small number of Zimbabwe, a very small number of South Africa, and yet both these countries seem to depend on this minority for them to produce food. Please, if you know what is happening in other countries like your north, your northwest, or northeast, or maybe even central, what is happening in other places in Africa? Are black Africans incapable of producing food? Guys, please let me know in the comment section, because this is like, hey, it gives whoever feeds you has power over you. That's what I'm saying. And we need to have a relationship between us and other races in our countries. Like mutual respect. That mutual respect. We respect them, they respect us, because we all can do what anyone can do. Like if we're farming, we know that black people can farm. When I say farm, I'm talking about consistently, like producing the good results consistently. I know that there are black farmers who are farming and are consistently farming, but how many are those? Because at the end of the day, it creates this picture that we cannot produce our food as black people. Like, at least Zimbabwe and South Africa. Please let me know in the comment section what is happening in other parts of Africa. But yeah, I just want to share with you the video clip of this farmer returning to Zimbabwe. It's a clip of a bit long time ago, but it is relevant today. And then I will come and read the people's reaction to the news that Zimbabwe has begun compensating the farmers who were evicted. And then I'll share my own views after reading the people's comments. But for now, please watch this video clip.
When he and his family were forcefully evicted from their estate by heavily armed Zimbabwean riot police. The white commercial farmer had set up in Zimbabwe's MANYI land. But now the farmer and his family are back at their LESUFI farm. Local politicians and the country's new government intervened to reverse the eviction.
Their support has been amazing, and all the way along they're always phoning us, when are you coming back, how are things going? So they haven't lost faith at all. We had to really keep the faith up and said, no, we're definitely coming back, and we stuck to it. Even before the change of government, we told them that, and the change of government, of course, was a godsend to us.
The appeal came after the area's local community members said they wanted him back.
Now we are all happy because the community was gaining from Mr. Smart. So I'd like to say congratulations to what actually has happened.
Smart's Lesbury farm grows tobacco and maize and provided employment for some of the locals.
Jobs. Yeah.
100%.
100%. People were missing that.
Yeah. Yes.
And we are so happy about it.
Yes.
And I think you're going to fulfill what the people were missing.
As always.
Thank you.
As always.
Smart's eviction was allegedly meant to pave way for a top cleric, Trevor Manhaga, who had links to then-President Robert Mugabe. Land is a contentious issue in Zimbabwe. Former President Mugabe's government initiated land seizures and evictions of farmers from the country's white minority in the year 2000. President Mnangagwa, in his inauguration speech, said farmers would be compensated for the seized land.
I also saw this and I thought, let me share this with you. Afrikaners are African, says ZANU-PF. You see, I just wanted to share this with you, but this is not my focus, whether Afrikaners are African or not African, because I don't want the context to be lost. My main focus is that now farmers have returned to Zimbabwe and the government is compensating them, which creates the question to me that South Africa, black South Africans and black Zimbabweans, are we incapable of producing food, taking nothing away from the white farmers? Because I'm asking these questions because these people are a minority. We have this majority that is depending on the minority for us to put things into our mouth. I'm talking about food production now. This is a post by Africa Fact Zone. Zimbabwe has started paying compensation to white farmers whose lands were years ago by issuing $380 million in bonds. The government has made the first payment of $3.1 million to the farmers. The payment is part of $3.5 billion compensation plan. 4,000 white farmers lost their land and homes during Robert Mugabe's redistribution program in 2000. In 2000, USA and the European Union imposed sanctions on Zimbabwe and several Zimbabwean officials following violent attacks on white farmers. You know this, it makes me think that Trump is going to sanction South Africa for the long time. But again, now when I look at this, I'm thinking this is not the same. What South Africa, we need not to lie to ourselves. What South Africa is proposing is not what Mugabe did. You see what I mean? And also the times are different now. We are not in 2000. We are in 2025. That is 25 years after. Zimbabweans, just like Nigerians, are only good in interfering with other countries' business. Also, when they are born, the first word they learn to pronounce as toddlers is immigrant. Yosana, never in the history of self-hate have I seen people who hate their country so much. All right, so I'm not going to take much from this comment. I want to read a post there's a post that I'm about to read to you. In fact, it's a comment under the post that was shared by Africa Fact Zone that is talking about the compensation by Zimbabwe to the white farmers there. This person commented a very long post, so it has details, so that's why I'm bringing it. Somebody is from Nigeria. He said, at first glance, a post like this might make you think Africans are weak or simply giving in to Western pressure. That's the impression that I got. But that's far from the truth. The reality is that 4,500 white farmers held a vast amounts of land, which were distributed to 237,858. Basically, that is 237,858 Zimbabwean households during the land reform program. Imagine how big the land is to be distributed among so many blacks. True. So the 2020 agreement between the Zimbabwean government and these colonizers clarifies that the compensation part of the $3.5 billion plan covers only their infrastructure on the farm, such as buildings, irrigation systems, and other developments, not the land itself. This gesture reflects a sense of fairness on Zimbabwe's part. After all, when colonial powers took these lands from our ancestors, they offered no compensation whatsoever. For those worried that South Africa might face similar fate, that's unlikely. The South African government has a well thought out approach, and not a single farm has been impacted in the same way. Plus, we've learned from history. We are smarter than our forefathers. We won't allow South Africa to be exposed to the kind of crippling sanctions that Zimbabwe faced. Zimbabwe's struggles weren't just due to challenges of land transfer. The sanctions imposed by the US and EU after the violent farm seizures played a massive role in tanking their economy. This time, Africans will stand united to protect our own, unlike how the continent left Zimbabwe to fend for itself back then. That's why I said times are not the same. That was 2000. We are in 2025 now. We are a whole different generation. And many people are saying there's nothing to mock Zimbabweans about. We need to celebrate them. This one says, Mnangagwa lacks ideas. He thinks he can sanitize the regime or his regime by paying land thieves while he has no regard for human rights. Guys. My biggest question is about this whole thing. Can black people produce food consistently? Can we be trusted? Because now relying on a few people like this, guys, Zimbabweans are human beings with massively depleted IQs. Oh, this is not my words, guys. Look here, they're running away from their land and they're running to landless South Africa. It's a scandal to be a Zimbabwean. Guys, these are not my views, please. I'm just sharing what the people are saying under that post. Zimbabweans own land but choose to clean toilets in SA. Now they are infiltrating our strategic positions in both private and public sectors. They think we are stupid. We come for them. I'm not going to be reading that. That upper part was okay. Anyway, guys, my thing is, please share your own views in the comment section. I have shared a lot up to here, but at the end of the day, I have this burning question. I want to know, somebody please share in the comment section, what is happening in other parts of Africa? Why is it that I'm seeing mostly Zimbabwe and South Africa having no skills to produce food, or maybe no desire to produce food, up to a level whereby when the minority, because you see, there are many white people in South Africa, there are more than 4.5 million, and not all of them are farmers. Do you get? So which means we are relying, as the majority, we are relying on a very small number of people that can maybe be taken out, maybe in about how many planes? 4-5 planes? And we are done. We have no food. Please let me know in the comment section what your views are, and I'll be reading those, and I will take time to respond should time allow me. If not, I will react. And if you watched up to here, and guys, thank you for watching this video. And the next time you bump into my videos, kindly watch my ads in full. It really goes a long way. And do have yourself a beautiful day. And I'm still asking, why are we relying on a few number of people, on a small number of people, rather for us to have something that goes into our mouth? Because money cannot give us food if there's nothing to buy. Do you get? Anyway, guys, do have a beautiful day.